Welcome back to the 2023 World Series of Poker. It is time for yet another championship event final table. And on the menu today, a 10K Omaha 8 or better event. My name is Remco Rinkema. Donnie Peters alongside me, coming at you from the Horseshoe in Las Vegas. We're jumping straight into the action here, as it is Ben Lamb's tournament to lose today, as he has an enormous chip lead coming into five-handed play here at this final table. Very first hand here, Donnie. I'm seeing lots of chips go in. Is that Robert Yass all in here right off the top of the deck?
Looks like it. Came into this final five as the shortest stack, and it's in the middle.
Give us a chance here to get these card graphics up, because as you can see, Yass is all in here on the very first hand of our broadcast. It feels as though the dealer was sort of rushing to get that first hand in there. Eric Seidel there, blocking the screen just a little bit. We have a legendary final table. We'll get to all the bios and all the research on these players in just a second. But first, let's see if Yass can get himself a double up. Immediate action here. This is a limit game. Yass very short coming into this spot. He was the shortest stack when five-handed play started with 400K. Here comes the flop, 10, 6, 7, 3 spades. No spades for either player. I'm assuming that it's James Chen that he's up against there in the 8 seat.
Yeah, and Yass has a low jaw here, so.
River card is an ace. Chop it up.
We got him.
I gotta chip away at him. I would have fucked the flush, by the way.
All right, Ben Lamb, Donnie, maybe the first hand he hasn't won in the last 4 hours. What can you tell us about the event so far?
Well, Ben Lamb has all the chips. He kicked off the day winning just about every pot possible. Kind of surprising that Ben Lamb is looking for his second gold bracelet. You would think that he's a guy who might have 3 or 4 by now. Couple of close calls, but ultimately only has 1 coming into this event, but clearly in the driver's seat to get his second. He did win the 2011 Player of the Year title. That's the year that he also took 3rd place in the main event. If you guys remember that run back then, the 3rd place finish in the main event for Lamb gave him Player of the Year and knocked out Phil Hellmuth from winning Player of the Year. For all of the WSB success that Phil Hellmuth has had, he has never won Player of the Year. I think he's finished 2nd place 3 times in that Player of the Year race.
Also, the year after in 2012, Greg Merson had to win the main event to take POI away from Hellmuth, and he did exactly that.
Yep.
All right, here we go.
Yass is all in again.
Yeah, Yass all in again. Donnie, there's a chance he busts here again. What can you tell us about Robert Yass?
33 years old, recently had a birthday back on June 6th. Spoke with him before we kicked off the live stream. Said he's been playing poker his whole life, mostly cash games. Spent plenty of time in the limit hold'em streets. 8160 at Borgata was among the game that he played regularly. He's out of Pennsylvania, Philadelphia to be exact. Played some water polo at Brown University. He's the son of Jeff Yass, who is a well-known trader, co-founder, managing director of the Philadelphia-based Susquehanna, who kind of built his fortune to start that firm in poker and sports betting.
Hold on.
Pretty legendary stuff.
we need this guy on the podcast for some story time. Meanwhile, Ace-7, 3-3 all in versus Ace-Queen, 7-6. Open-ended straight draw there for Ben Lamb. And we got card graphics on the screen. You got chip counts at the top of the page.
Yeah, I'll give you a jack.
In case you're just tuning in. There it is, straight for Ben Lamb.
Jack.
He's got a straight.
We're going for jacks now.
81% for Lamb here to send Yass to the rail.
Big game, guys.
King on the river, and that's going to do it. No low out there on this hand. Robert Yass eliminated. Ben Lamb continues to absolutely tear up this final table. Donnie, looking at the stacks of the other players, I feel like everyone is playing for second.
Before I start cursing.
Yeah, at this point, everyone is playing for second. I mean, I'm not sure I've seen a chip lead like this since, was it Trevor Pope back in the day? Was it like a 5K 6 max, I believe, or maybe the 5K 8 max? But he came in with a massive chip lead and went on to win the bracelet there. Pope and Lamb are friends, so it's kind of coincidental that Lamb has this chip lead. Of course, we haven't even talked about the legend that is Eric Seidel yet, trying to join the 10-time WSOP Gold Bracelet Club. Phil Hellmuth, the late Doyle Brunson, and Johnny Chan, Phil Ivey in there. Seidel's been on 9, seems like, well, he was on 8 forever.
Right.
And then he won the online bracelet on the WSOP event on GG Poker, which is certainly no small feat. Online poker these days, especially a $10,000 buy-in online event, is some of the best players in the world. He won over 900K for that. Did Seidel in 2021. So he's trying to get that 10th.
Yeah, it's interesting, Donnie, and I wanted to bring that up specifically because you know that I'm a purist when it comes to bracelets. You know that I value these Vegas bracelets a little bit higher than perhaps some of the European ones or the online ones. But specifically in the case of Seidel, to beat out a field of 624 players in a 10K online event, you got to just give him that credit because the other guys near the top of the bracelet standings don't have the type of online chops that someone like a Seidel does, and he is from the same era. You know, he was at the main event final table back in the 80s, you know, made legendary, by that final table that he made, and it is just so cool to see that he's still here beating the best, and he's also done it in an online event. So that 9th bracelet for him, definitely extra special.
4 as well.
Seidel all in here. Seidel behind.
Yeah, in a bit of some trouble here with a worse 4 for trips.
Wow, this final table is off to a blazing hot start.
They keep saying these limit games are boring. We keep doing the limit games, and they're just out of control.
Absolutely out of control so far. Seidel needs to improve here to stay in the tournament. River card is a 3. Looks like we are going to chop this one up.
5 deuce. 5 deuce for a low.
Yes, indeed. 5 deuce for the low for Seidel, and king 4 for the high for Chen. This hand gets chopped. 4-handed play still. Look at the chip counts there. Lamb on 10.2 million. Donnie, the other players combined have 2.5 million.
Yeah, Lamb has 80% of the chips in play. The other players obviously then have 20% of the chips in play. I mean, it's wild how big his chip lead is.
If you're just tuning into the stream, we've had a really crazy roller coaster to kick this thing off. Once again, my name is Remco Rinkema, Donnie Peters alongside me. Please smash that like button. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We try to offer you more streams than ever before during this year's WSOP. As of right now, we also have a Hold'em final table going on over at the PokerGO studio. That is a BetMGM final table. So you can even sort of multi-stream right now on our YouTube channel. It's the first time ever we are live with 2 final tables at once, which is kind of cool. And then tomorrow, the plan is to stream the 100K no limit final table. So
Ace, queen, deuce, 6 with 3 diamonds.
tons of poker going on.
Owe you $10,000.
Later this week, we have the 10K Raz Championship on PokerGo, the final table of that, followed by on Friday the 10K Secret Bounty on PokerGo. Then on Saturday, Donnie and I are doing day 2 of the 250K Super High Roller, and then on Sunday, it's going to be on PokerGo.com exclusively, the final table of that 250K Super High Roller.
Luis Velador there, 2-time gold bracelet winner, Mexican-born player, now residing in California. Deep run in the main event, 2014, that was the year Martin Jacobson won. Velador bubbled the final table, finishing in 10th place. I think it was 565K was his score for that run at the time.
At that main event bubble, I was certain that Velador was going to make it.
Same.
And then there was a few hands that all happened consecutively where he went from, I believe, an average stack to being out the door. Of course, that situation also included the famous Jacobson misclick.
Oh, yes. Cost us 25K fantasy.
I was going to say, and it cost you a whole bunch of money. For those that missed it, Donnie, after this hand, maybe you can explain the Jacobson misclick. Meanwhile, Seidel raising it up here. We're playing limit. He comes in with a raise to 240. The blinds are 60K, 120K. Limits are 120, 240. Seidel with the ace, queen, 10-3. Takes this one down without seeing a flop. Expenses on YouTube chat is asking, Remco, I'm late. How do we play this game compared to normal Omaha? Well, the betting is limit, and there is a split pot between the best high and the best low hand. Now, in order to qualify for the low, you need 5 cards, 8 or lower to qualify. You need to use 2 cards in your hand the same way as regular PLO, and that goes for both the high and the low. You can also play for both with the same hand. If you make a wheel, you have a 5 high straight and you have the best possible low. The wheel is the best low. The steel wheel, arguably the best hand in this game. Steel wheel, of course, being a straight flush, ace to 5.
Daj City said, what's the difference between 8 or better and high-low? Generally the same game. The 8 or better part is just that's what you have to qualify with to make the low.
So you could
sometimes like stud high low, sometimes they have stud high low regular, right? So stud high low regular, you don't need the 8 qualifier.
Correct. So the 8 or better part is a way to specify what your low needs to be.
You need 5 cards, 8 or lower.
Exactly. So in this case, look at Ben Lamb's hand, Jack 9 8 8. He cannot make a low. He doesn't have 2 cards, 8 or lower. In Chen's case, he has the 10 4 deuce deuce. The deuce 4 plays for the low.
Fun game. Can also be a bit torturous at times because there are lots of chops. If anyone was with us last year, Dan Zach versus Dustin Dirksen, was it?
Yep, correct.
Played till, about 4 in the morning or something absolutely insane. They got to heads-up play relatively quickly, and then heads-up play took like 8 hours.
Exactly. Absolutely insane grind. Dan Zach winning his bracelet. I believe his quote after the event was, "I am literally dead."
Yeah.
That's how tired he was after that heads-up battle.
Yeah. What have you got left?
Velador versus Seidel here.
275.
2 old school guys. Have probably been battling with each other since the 90s.
And both very short here. Playing 120K, 240K, so.
Seidel here picks up the king high flush draw. Turn card brings a low possibility out there. Seidel with the deuce 5, Velador with the 4-3. 8, of course, also plays for a potential low. Keep in mind, in order to have a low possibility, there need to be 3 cards on the board, 8 or lower.
This is a good card here for Velador. Gives him that pair of aces. He also has that low draw.
Donnie, what would you say is one of the most common mistakes made in this game?
Playing hands that are only high in spots when you shouldn't. Playing hands that don't contain an ace. Playing bad lows.
Hand selection crucial in this format. Velador here with a scooper. All in for just 35K. Worst possible card for Seidel.
It's also one of those cards that Velador is probably fine betting because a 9 in Omaha high-low is not a card you usually want to have in your hand. It doesn't really work for you on either side.
And now the legend, the Poker Hall of Famer Eric Seidel, down to just 90K. Brutal stuff for Seidel.
Russell said they always give us the really long streams. I mean, they do.
They know we have the stamina. They know they know we have the longevity.
Or they know that we have all the coffee fund donations and they just want us to spend it. I mean, it's one or the other.
Or they know that people are comfortable running us into the ground, Donnie.
Yeah, Jeff and Brent come in yesterday. We get a day off. They fill in for us. They get like a 2-hour stream. I mean, it's like, what is even happening? Which I watched that stream last night.
Yeah.
It was madness. Absolute madness at the Gladiators of Poker final table. But that's what the World Series is about. Madness.
Correct. If you're in the chat right now, please let us know where you're watching from. Would love to hear whether we have an international crowd with us again today, as Lamb looks at Ace, King, Jack, Jack. Premium PLO hand, but given the fact that Lamb's opponents are so short, he can probably afford to be a bit more aggressive with those high hands.
Yeah, of course. And, if the board doesn't qualify for a possible low, Lam's going to be in a really good position here to win this pot. You mentioned PLO. That is Lamb's gold bracelet win. $10,000 PLO tournament back in 2011, $814,000.
It feels weird that Ben Lamb only has one bracelet.
I know. Like I was sure he had 3 for some reason. I don't know why I thought that. He has had a couple close calls. Obviously, we mentioned that 3rd place in the main event, 2014.
Velador here with a great situation, nut low draw with a heart flush draw. Now, his hearts are not the biggest hearts, but in a situation like this where you have the nut load to go along with it, it is definitely a comfortable spot. Lamb betting his ace, king, jack, jack. Does have the best high at this point in time. And there it is, nut low for Velador. Lamb now can only hope to chop.
This is also a spot where, you asked about those mistakes. Velador has, at least right now, pretty much a one-way hand. So check calling is probably fine, but you don't want to go too crazy with your hand because there is a chance that you could get quartered. This one is going to be chopped as long as we see a showdown.
Lamb knows he has to make this call.
2-3 for a low.
All right, chop it up.
Chop it up, boys.
Where's the high where you need one?
All right. Let's have a look here. We have Greece in the house, Massachusetts, Atlanta. Carl says, watch it from home. 7 days until Vegas. Safe travels, Carl. Hope you have some good luck out here. Lawrence, Kansas in the house. Cleveland, Tennessee. Appleton, Wisconsin. I'm learning some new places all over the U.S. just by doing this stream. Calgary, Toronto, Rochester, Morocco, Sweden, Sheffield, UK, North Dakota. Kristen is with us again watching. Appreciate it. Trey in the house from the DMV.
What's up, Trey?
I'm starting to remember more and more of these names in the chat. Much love to all the regulars. Much love to everyone tuning in for the first time. Donnie and I are always here to have a party, have fun, talk about some nonsense on the side as we pay attention to the poker action, because Seidel right here, all in with the ace, deuce, 5-7. Donnie, probably one of the best scenarios being this short, finding a hand like this.
Yeah, good starting hand for him given the situation that he's in. Always good to have an ace, deuce in your hand in this game, especially when you're getting all the money in.
The math says this is a 51-49 split. Lamb does have what I like to refer to as an emergency low option with the ace-7. Seidel has the same low option, so that is sort of counterfeited. The ace-king here, the dominating factor in Lamb's hand. The hearts for Seidel strong. Let's see the flop here with Seidel at risk. 10-9-6 rolls off the deck.
It's not a particularly good flop.
Seidel is correct. 8 would give Lamb a straight. 7 on the turn
Good turn for you.
gives
Very good
both
turn.
players
Look at
a pair of 7s.
I think
Gives
ace was
Seidel a lot of outs for the low. Could potentially win 3/4 of this pot.
fine. Alrighty.
That's a rough
luck,
card on the
guys.
river
Wow.
for Eric Seidel. Takes him out.
Rough card for Eric Seidel. King on the river is going to send the Poker Hall of Famer to the rail. And Ben Lamb claims another victim at this final table. And all of a sudden, we are already down to 3.
Yeah, that was brutal. Chop
Ben Lamb, absolutely unstoppable so far, Donnie.
I didn't like it, guys.
$150,000 score there for Eric Seidel.
I'm off to you,
Oh,
buddy.
so close to his 10th WSOP
I'm
gold
off to you
bracelet.
now.
Yeah.
But Ben Lamb stacks those chips up. He inches even closer to his 2nd piece of WSOP hardware. Ben Lamb now with 10.8 million in chips. Both of his opponents, Velador and Chen, under $1 million apiece. And Lamb picks up a nice hand here. Ace, king, 7 deuce. He's got the diamonds working to the ace. He's going to come on and raise on the button.
Yeah, how much you have?
705,000 behind.
Thank you.
Chen and Velador thinking about some ICM implications and getting a chance to play heads up against Ben Lamb here. Lamb raising it up with the ace-deuce, king-7. As Donnie mentioned, ace-deuce crucial in this game.
Come on, bud. Here we go. Come on.
Chen also with ace-deuce, but he's got jack-5 to go along with it. And Velador not with any low chances, but he does have the king, queen, jack, and a hard flush draw. Three-way action can get rather complicated quickly, but on a flop like this, it's pretty straightforward. No low draws out there just yet. Velador picks up top 2 pair. Great situation for him to continue firing. Addison Duff says this game is very swingy. This game is incredibly swingy.
You have, what, 6 more?
So we lost 2 players during that stop. Therefore, everybody is now in the money. Congratulations, everybody. You're in the money. Paying 79. All right, before we get started, dealers, just be sure.
Donnie, 8 events at the WSB going on currently, concurrently. Absolutely nuts.
It is pretty wild how many tournaments are running right now. Right in the thick of it. Coming off a 23,000 plus player field in the gladiators of poker and keeping up with the busyness here for sure.
I'm a little bit sad that during the Gladiators final table last night, no one dressed up as Russell Crowe from the famous movie.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you have to stand up and look at the camera and go, "Are you not entertained?" Anyway, to the turn we go. Velador with the bet. Both Lamb and Chen came along, hoping for a low card, and they both pick up the nut low draw. Of course, there's always the risk of your opponent drawing to the same low, and then if you lose the high, you only get a quarter of the pot. Donnie, probably the most painful element of this game.
Yeah, whenever you get quartered, it is not good. This is probably just the type of card Ben Lamb prefers to see on the turn. See how he wants to proceed here.
Velador, of course, feeling strong with his hand. You can also see he has an 8 to go along with it, which makes it less likely that any of his opponents have a set. That's always a reassuring feeling when you flop 2 pair in this game. Lamb here going to raise it up, pick the aggressive line, Donnie. How do you feel about that?
Good spot for him to raise. He has a lot of equity, and he probably thinks there's going to be a lot of time when the ace-king might be doing well for the high. And then he can also possibly knock out Chen if he's drawing to a similar sort of low, which he obviously is, as we can see. Not that Ben knows that for sure, but
right,
you know, that would increase his equity on the low side.
In a face-up scenario, the way we are watching it, you would always tell Ben, yes, you should raise here to get rid of the other low draw. In this case, Velador all in. He's got a really strong hand here versus Ben Lamb, who's basically hoping for an ace or a low card that gives him a chop.
No. Oh, nice. Room for an ace?
Chen already folded an ace.
Low card or an ace. Ace, it's over. Low card, I chop. Get him.
That is incorrect. Velador is going to double up here. And the first little chip at Ben Lamb's stack, Donnie.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he can afford it, though.
Look at that mountain of chips.
Thank you.
Speaking of those swings that the chat was mentioning, Velador
I'm
now
back,
up
boys.
over 2.3 million. So he went from below $1 million to up over 2.3 million. Swingy game, especially when you're scooping pots, not just taking half.
I mean, looking at Chen right now, sitting on just 4
Strange
big
feeling.
bets. Excuse me, 4 big blinds. Just
Yeah.
2.5 big bets.
Oh, yes.
Sorry, man.
It's all right. Get him.
If you're just tuning in, we much appreciate you watching a little bit of a different flavor than the usual No Limit Hold'em. We're playing Omaha 8 or better. stick with us here to learn more about the game and to potentially watch Ben Lamb, a legend of the game, go for his second WSOP bracelet. Please smash that subscribe button while you're at it. We got tons of streaming every single day from the 2023 WSOP. Our goal for the summer is to hit 500,000 subscribers. Everyone's telling me that I'm crazy, but I think we can do it. So let's smash that subscribe button and join our rail, join our army, join our crew. I think we can do it.
Everyone else is just a non-believer, but we're going to get there.
Lots of haters out there. James Shaw asking, Remco, any more plans for more run it back? Oh, I'd love to. Run it back is a complicated show. It's hard to wrangle these poker players, but it is a lot of fun to do these shows. And in case you are new to that format, I used to do a show, especially during the pandemic, called Run It Back, where I'd watch some old school poker action with some of the players involved in whatever that action was. So I watched some old high-stakes poker episodes with Lex Veldhuis. I watched the main event final table with Greg Merson, with Ryan Reese, Chris Moneymaker, Joe Hashem. They all came on the show to relive some of those moments, and I think there's some real gems in there. But the best one, of course, was with Stephanie Unger, the daughter of Stu Unger, reliving her father's final table at the 1997 main event.
Yeah, I can. Sorry.
If you just search Run It Back on YouTube, you'll be able to find some of those. Our man from Livingston, Montana says, Sammy Farha is in the building. Please hit him up for a Run It Back stream. Imagine doing Run It Back with Sammy Farha.
That would be legendary.
I have some outstanding promises from people like Jamie Gold and Patrick Antonius to do a Run It Back episode. Meanwhile, Ben Lamb back on the button, raising. Oh, and here comes Chen back over the top. Velador happy to get out of the way here. I can only imagine Lamb going to take a stab here to knock his opponent out.
On the draw.
9, 8, 3, 2 spades on the flop. Lamb has the inferior 9. Does have 2 pair here with 9-3, but so does Chen. 2 very similar hands here, Donnie.
2 very similar hands, yes. Chen drawing with 2 overs to possibly make a better 2 pair. Lamb's only got that 1 over.
Yeah, Lamb's looking for a 10. Hard to see a clean path to victory here for Ben Lamb.
There you go. I like that card.
Straight draw there
Now,
for Ben.
good card for Lamb. Now with the open and a straight draw. Let's see the river card. Can Chen find a double up? Deuce on the river, and this pot gets chopped. Both players make 2 pair 9s and 3s.
Funny way to chop in this game.
Donnie, some people in Vegas have taken on prop bets in this specific game. Most notably, I think Huck Seed made a prop bet that he could win. I can't recall the amounts, but he could beat the 08 game at the Orleans, and I believe he had to buy out. Is this game just so tough? Are the swings that bad?
I mean, the swings are crazy, and the way that a lot of people play it in the cash games, especially at the lower limits, I mean, it's a minefield. They don't like to fold. Speaking of prop bets, I think Ben Lamb has a Player of the Year bet against Sean Deeb.
Oh, wow.
What's up, Jimmy Bluffett? Welcome to the stream. Happy to have you here as always.
Luis Velador, I'm not sure if we mentioned it earlier, but he has 2 WSOP bracelets already. One in a PLO, Pot Limit Hold'em PLO mix event. The other one coming in a straight no limit hold'em event. Bellator also finished 13th in the 25K PLO back in 2018, so it's safe to say that this is probably his favorite game, or sort of the Omaha variety is his favorite game.
Call. Option. Check. 2 players.
Jack 7 deuce on the flop. Chen again with top 2 pair. Not much out there for Lamb. Does have all the cards surrounding that jack, so as far as backdoors go, definitely lots of options to hit Broadway. Lamb lays it down, and Chen chips up a little bit, nourishing his stack in hopes of a major comeback potentially. All right, here's a look at GTO Wizard, the #1 app for poker players. Scan the QR code on your screen right now or go to gtowizard.com/PokerGo. Donnie, I'll leave the rest to you because you are deep in the lab.
I am. They may not have Omaha, but plenty of people out there watching are looking to improve their no-limit hold'em game. GTO Wizard is the ultimate tool to take your game to the next level. As Remco mentioned, you could scan that QR code that was on your screen, or you can just head on over to gtowizard.com/PokerGo to receive free access for your first 24 hours, as well as 10% off your first purchase.
I need to get into the lab, Donnie. It's time.
I spent way too much time in the lab the other day. Just this one hand that's been eating me alive for a week, but whatever.
Was it in the South Point Nightly?
Oh, it was in the
Thank you.
the Gladiator thing.
Donnie made a run in the Gladiator.
I did.
Can you call it? Can you call it a run with the structure
mean,
that fast?
I mean, yeah, it's you know.
You had chips.
I did have chips. I made it to close to the end of day one, almost bagged. Outlasted Brent Hanks in that flight, so I feel good.
I mean, that should be on your Hendon mob. Outlasted Brent Hanks in the Gladiator.
Well, Brent went 2 out of 3 though.
Oh yeah, that's
So,
true.
He's much more of a gladiator than I am.
Lots of people in the chat shouting out the Orleans. Definitely a sort of a local favorite of mine. You know, they have regular non-hold'em games, which I love to play. Of course, you know, the WSOP has the most cash games of any variety. But if you are a low-stakes player looking for a little bit of a taste, that is not a bad place to go and check out. Bellator, King, Queen, 9-8. Looking for some high cards if he decides to play this one.
Call. Raise. 2 bet.
Lamb gonna raise it up here. The ace-10, 3-3.
Only 12 more YouTube subs needed for us to hit 417,000. I'm counting every 1,000 subs as like a milestone. So 12 more subs to hit 417. Every sub matters. 275 rolls off the deck. Lamb perfectly fitting into that type of flop, hitting the nut low draw, hitting the nut low. Sorry, excuse me. Backdoor steel wheel draw. That's what I was gonna get at.
Yeah, and that's the type of flop where the way that Bellator played his hand, Lamb can simply take the lead and use his aggression in position. Probably favors his range a bit more there. And as we see, he bets and Bellator quickly gives it up, can't continue.
Donnie,
What's up?
go Knights, go.
Go Knights go. Is it time?
It's almost time.
It's 25 minutes.
I'm nervous.
If I would have known that Ben Lamb was possibly going to win by, 5-15, I would have possibly gone to the game.
Exactly.
It's going to be crazy if they get it done.
I'm counting on you, Donnie, to have the feed open when the game kicks off.
I will. I'll pull it up here.
Let us know in the chat. Are you rooting for the Knights tonight or the Panthers? I'm kind of curious to see if our chat is also Vegas-minded in that sense, or if we have lots of Floridians potentially watching right now. Lamb raising it up from the small blinds. Chen with a very mediocre-looking King Jack 10-4.
Last night we saw the Denver Nuggets win their first ever NBA championship. Nikola Jokic,
He seemed
the
tired.
finals MVP.
He seemed tired.
He had an incredible run all season long, especially throughout the playoffs and into the finals. Just truly a dominant player.
Wow. Feels like it's half and half Panthers Knights in the chat so far. Shocking to see. If you're just tuning in, is the 10K Omaha 8 or Better Championship Final Table. This event, as most events at the WSOP this year, way up in players. 212 entries in this event, creating a prize pool of just shy of $2 million. The players right now, the final 3 are guaranteed $211,000. It's 303 for second and 492 for first. As we see Chen and Velador go at it. Aces for Chen.
He's also got that ace-4 working on the low side of things. Good hand for him.
Velador hitting top pair, but not a whole lot else to hope for. No backdoor flush draw. He's going to come along for one street here. Turn card. Deuce of hearts. 9 now, the only card that can save Velador. Chen almost able to get all his chips in the middle here.
Yeah, that deuce is a hand that, given the way Chen has played this one, coming in with a raise from the small blind, betting the flop, I mean, he could have a deuce in his hand as well.
You're right.
Velador was trying to get Chen all in there on the turn, hoping that his 9 would be good against a potential low draw. Little does Velador know, his opponent already has an overpair. Chen's going to show this full house here, hitting a 4 on the river.
Yeah, aces. How much is that?
It's not much, but it's not good for you either, Mr. Velador.
Looks like Velador was about to get a little bit upset that Chen hit the 4, but then also realized that he was behind the aces, so it wasn't too bad. You were talking about the numbers in this event, up 8% over last year, 196 entries last year, 212 entries this year.
That's a lot for a 10K event.
It seems like every event so far, other than maybe 1 or 2, is up pretty big year over year, which is incredible.
Absolutely love to see it. Let's do a little look around the rooms here while we, of course, keep a close eye on the current Ben Lamb rampage. 11 players left in the $1,500 8 game. Sean Deeb leading the way. He is in a commanding chip position to do some real damage in this event. Daniel Strelitz, David Baker, Kyle Lohman, and Nick Schulman also among the finalists in that event. I believe they're going to try to play down as far as they can today, but that might not conclude given the fact there are still 11 left here at 5 p.m. $1,500 No Limit Hold'em Deep Stack also on day 2. Over 2,000 players started that event. They're down to the final 42. Matthew Hunt currently in the lead. I see some other names here. Nick Palma, Kevin Iacofano, Dietrich Faust in the mix with 45 left. Serious money up for grabs as well in that event. 406,000 up top as we look back over to our current final table. The odds are saying this is a 50-50 split as it stands right now. Chen with the winning pair of jacks, Lamb with the strong low draw. Also has the potential of a backdoor straight. But there you go, Lamb not hesitating. Donnie, this is a very nice aggressive play from Ben Lamb.
It is. This is what you can do when you have the chip lead and you have, like, you're heating up. You're the hottest player at the table, right? So players can kind of look at you and be like, man, this guy's just, I can't beat him. You know, he's running hot. So you can use that to your advantage.
speaking of advantages, very small ones in the 100K High Roller. They are playing on day 2 currently. That event will be streamed tomorrow on our YouTube channel for all of you to watch. They started with 79 players. They're down to the final 16. So
No, 93.
excuse me. Oh, they did not update that on the website.
93, for sure.
All right, 93. I've been giving wrong information. They started with 93, so they're down to 16, if that number is correct. Kerry Katz currently in the lead. Jans Arends, who finished 3rd in the 50K, he is currently in 2nd in chips. Some other players you might have heard of: Adrian Mateos, Chance Corner, David Peters, Ren Lin, Karai Aldemir, Jeremy Osmus, and I can go on and on and on. It is a who's who of the international high roller scene in that event. They will play down to the final table tonight.
Kristen Foxen still in. She's had quite a year so far. We'll see if she can make another deep run. If you tuned in the other day to watch the 25K High Roller stream that we did, you got a lot of Kristen Foxen action.
By the way, they are 2 away from the money right now, so that's a pretty tense situation. Jonathan Jaffe and Justin Bonomo among the short stacks in that 100K.
More than 2.5 million up top.
Woo. Serious money. Very serious money. Lamb raising it up. These kind of hands are always tricky, Donnie, when you have that low card sort of semi-rundown without the ace.
Yeah, without the ace, second best to that, maybe you want a deuce in your hand, but you don't even have that. So tricky spot, you might want to play it, but Chen thinks better of it and gives it up.
Velador, of course, knows he has that 1 bet invested, doesn't really want to let go of his big blind, but thinks the better of it as well. Next event to quickly touch on here, the $1,500 limit deuce to 7 triple draw. 522 entries, down to 79 players. Seeing lots of notables in that event doing well, including 4-time bracelet winner Tom Schneider, 4-time bracelet winner John Monette, Calvin Anderson, Alan Kessler, Patrick Leonard, Benny Glauser, all in the mix in that event. Should be a good final table.
I feel like we haven't seen too much Tom Schneider in recent years, but seen him in a bunch of tournaments out there this year, so he's back to grinding.
Stack him, stack him.
To the top. I don't think the pants were as loud as before. I think it was loudmouth golf gear was the
I think so.
stuff that he was wearing. I haven't seen his pants as loud as they once were, but yeah.
Whenever I see Tom Schneider in his colorful pants, I think of golfer John Daly.
James Chen breaking that one in. Chen from Boston, lives in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania now. Started playing poker back in high school, as you know, so many poker players, so many of us did. A New England sports fan.
Wow. Are you guys like best friends?
I mean, I guess so. PLO player by trade, I guess, is how he refers to himself. This is, of course, the limit high-low version of Omaha, but he's well-versed in the 4-card game, cash games, and tournaments.
Raise, 2 bets.
Lamb continuing with the aggression. Chan finding what we call a one-way hand. No low possibility. Does have kings. Kings shrink in your head when you don't have a low to go along with it. But in this short-handed format, on a short stack, having a strong pair is better than having no pair at all.
Call. 2 players.
Lamb calls the 3-bet. And there it is, a king on the flop right away. Chen flops top set.
Check.
Lamb with a flush draw. No low draw just yet for Lamb since he paired a 3. You need 5 cards to make a low. Lamb only has a 6 and a 3, so right now he only has 3 cards to a low. Deuce, 6, 3. We can see that Chen has no chance to make a low. Lamb probably sizing up whether he wants to play for stacks here, Donnie.
Yeah, for sure. You know, he's trying to make quick work of this one. Something you guys will often see in the split pot games, the players will leave their bets in front of them in heads up pots specifically, because there are so many chances or so many times when the pots will simply be split. So oftentimes you'll just see the bets left in front of them all the way until the end. And then that's when, you know, they'll either just pull their bets back if it's a chop pot or push it one way or the other. Ben Lamb does make the call here. 10 on the turn. Does give Lamb a straight draw now.
It also eliminates any ideas Lamb might have had about making a backdoor low.
He's just going to go for it here, and I would assume Chen's just going to try and get his money in. Yep.
Chen moves all in. Ben Lamb, a wizard with the chips, quickly doing some calculations here, puts in the call, and is going to see that he's going to need a club or a queen.
Club or a queen? I have no low draw.
No low draw for Lamb. Chen in a great spot here to double up, Donnie.
Oh, yes.
Who do you want to win, Luis? Who you rooting for?
Also doesn't work for Lamb that he has 3 clubs in his hand, not just 2, so 1 less in the deck.
All right, let's see the river card. Can James Chen find a double up? Yes, he can.
Full house, baby.
And a flush too, Donnie.
You know, he's got it all.
All right, Ben Lamb takes a small hit, but still maintains that 10 million chip stack. If you're just tuning in, this is the 10K Omaha 8 or better final table. We're streaming until we get down to a winner. Please smash that like button right now. Let's get us up to over 500 likes on this video. That's all we need to really spread the word on the gospel of this beautiful game. If you're new to this game, this is a great way to learn. We'll try to keep the commentary accessible for all levels, mostly focusing on the basics here, as we know that this is not something you guys get to watch all too often. I will say though, Donnie, and you know, paying respects as well to the legend Doyle Brunson, if you are interested in the non-hold'em games, even though it is 2023, I would still say pick up a copy of Super System and read up on all the games.
Oh, yes.
Ace King 6-5. Music to Ben Lamb's
Lamb
ears.
just keeps getting hands, you know.
Chen is going to defend here with the Queen, 9-6. And then we have Kings with the 5 deuce.
This could be a big pot all around.
Wow.
Velador is also pretty short here, so this hand certainly going to go up in value for him. Can't be waiting around forever.
Wow, the equities will swing a lot back and forth depending on the cards that come out on this flop. Potential turn and river as well. 8-8-3 on the flop. Rainbow. No player with an 8. Overpairs for Velador and Chen. Lamb with a variety of backdoor draws.
Yeah, nothing direct for Lamb other than those pair of the 8s on board, but
Velador currently in the best spot with the overpair and the low draw. Lamb does have ace-5 for the best current low draw. Jack on the turn is going to eliminate any chances of a player making... Excuse me. That's just ridiculous what I just said. I was just going to say no low draws, but of course...
I was listening and wondering where you were going.
I know.
With it.
that made 0 sense. I was staring at the wrong part of the screen when that jack came off. But yeah, of course, still low draw possibilities. It's just not there yet.
Velador does bet here. Probably figuring if anyone had an 8, they would have bet the flop.
At least the chat still loves me, Donnie. Thank you, Russell. Thank you, Matt.
Yeah, you know. Mistakes happen every now and then, not a big deal.
We're not allowed to make mistakes, Donnie. Just can't happen.
The mistake-free stream happened yesterday with Jeff and Brent.
Yep.
We are the mistake-laden stream.
Exactly. Trying to keep you guys on your toes. We should actually just, you know, do some fake commentary and see if anyone picks up on it.
I mean, this is an interesting card here for Chen because he still has those queens as an overpair. He has a flush draw.
On a paired board.
He has a straight draw as well, so
Good players.
we're going to a river at least. And there's a straight for Chen.
Heartbreak for...
Now you can say it. No low.
No low. Okay, no low.
Remco is just a street ahead,
Woo,
everyone.
exactly.
No low is possible right now.
My Omaha 8 or better game is so strong that I knew that the river was going to kill that low.
Chen is going to lead here. Not big.
Did Velador just snap it off there?
He did. Velador snapped it off. He's going to see the bad news. Unlike last time when Chen won the big pot, when he thought he got rivered, but he was actually behind the whole time. Here he did get rivered. So a little bit of disgust. He mentions how ugly it was. That is correct. It was ugly.
Can you fold there for one bet, Donnie?
I mean,
are you supposed to? The kings do, you know, connect with that board as far as blockers go, potentially.
yeah, you are blocking some straight combinations. No, you're not. But I don't know. It's hard when you get so short like that, right? Like, it's just, you've already committed so much of your chip stack. But then again, not that it's exactly apples to apples because it's a different game. How many times do we see Dan Idema make huge folds on the end in pretty big pots, just saving those bets?
Right now, Velador is going to need some serious help to make a comeback. He has 1% of the chips in play.
Is that all there?
Oh,
There's all of it.
145K. King 6-3 deuce for Velador. Ace 9-7-6 with 2 hearts for Ben Lamb.
Here we go again.
Looks like a chop pot.
take the chop.
As many are in this game.
These hands chop.
We hit over 500 likes on the video so far. Much love to everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let's see if Velador can find himself a double up. 5, 7, 8 rolls off the deck here. Lamb here takes the lead with his pair of sevens, straight draw. The options for Velador are still plenty for the low. No diamonds out there for either player, but this card is going to give Lamb a straight, and Velador still sitting on the low there.
Chop it up.
Chop it up, boys. This is the most intensive type of commentary where you're looking at every single possible out and then trying to figure out who has the high, who has the low.
Yep. It is tricky.
See, chat's paying attention, Donnie. They're pointing out that he flopped straight.
He did.
I really like PL08.
Yeah.
Bang, bang, all in. I got a low draw. Oh, I got a high. One of the most impressive performances I ever saw in a live poker tournament was the 2009 Pot Limit Omaha 8 or better event. Brandon Cantu. I believe he had the chip lead from the first level until he won the tournament. One of those runs that you'll always remember. I covered that tournament, and he was just absolutely unstoppable.
This is what I had with like 80 players left.
Yeah,
I was a small
10K?
blind, yeah. I just put it in. 4-way, it's cool.
Pretty sick.
So it really came from long ways to go.
Velador just needs a hand, and by folding this one, he's almost guaranteed to be all in out in the next hand in the big blind. Lem going to limp with 7-3 deuce. Tens for Chen, no low draw. King, queen, 6-3 hearts. Hearts for Chen.
Check.
Ace on the turn. Gives Lamb the nut low draw. Chen still with the winning flush as it stands. With his big stack, Lamb probably going to bet a lot of his big draws.
Nice.
That's a raise from Chen.
Lamb here basically calling to hopefully chop, which is never a good spot to be in.
Nope.
3 on the river is going to chop this. So Lamb hits that hits that emergency card to ensure no losses on this hand are going to be incurred. Lamb just making sure he has it. All right, chop it up, boys. Looks like it is now all eyes on Louis Velador, who is going to be in the big blind with just a little over 1 big blind left.
Wonder there if Chen would have bet the flop, he would have gotten that one done and taken the whole thing without going further. Would have been interesting to see.
Yeah, sometimes you're better off just, you know, realizing that equity or taking the pot down when you're still ahead, especially given that you're up against such a large stack. Every little pot matters here. And best case scenario for Lamb here, picks up aces with 10-3. Chen with Jack 4-5.
He also takes a look over at
I'm an arm.
the chips Velador has left.
Do we want to call here very often, Donnie, to see at least a 3-way flop to potentially,
Is it 240?
you know, give yourself a chance to knock Velador out?
Yeah, I think that's fine. And then if you're in Velador's shoes, I mean,
Look, Luis.
get everyone in there. You know, give me a
Yeah,
chance to win
145.
as much chips as possible.
We're going to have some side
You got it.
action here.
Don't know if Velador looked yet, but not the worst hand.
Could be way worse.
Put 290 in front of him.
He can go high and low with the Jack 10-3 deuce. Hearts are dead for Velador versus the hearts of Chen.
It's 240.
He's not going to hit a Jack either because Chen has 2 of them.
Over there.
So
And this is-
perhaps some 7, 8, 9 combination is going to work well for him. As you can see,
No.
equities run very close in this game. Let's see the flop. 9-7-9 on the flop. Fairly close to what I asked for. Velador now in search of an 8 to make a straight. No immediate low draw out there. Lamb must be feeling quite okay with aces here, Donnie.
Yeah, he should be all right here. He also has that ace-3 backdoor low draw that should be pretty good. Chen checks, Velador, of course, all in. So Lamb's first to bet after Chen checks, and he fires it in. Chen makes the call. Side pot between these two.
$10 on the turn. Lamb's ace is still best, no diamonds for anyone. This 10 also eliminates a potential low for any player. Velador in dire straits here. An 8 can still give him a winning straight.
You waiting on them?
Seven of clubs on the river. Lamb gets the check mark, and that spells the end for Luis Velador. Aces are going to hold up here in this hand.
Lamb might be content here just to check behind and take the money.
Bet.
But he's going the other way.
Ben Lamb.
Always trying to get that extra bit of value.
Lamb wouldn't be Lamb if he didn't take the most aggressive approach. Chen with the pair of jacks considering making the call here. He knows he's going to see a showdown. Velador is already all in. Velador, or sorry, Chen not willing to give Lamb a whole lot of credit here in this situation. Chen does lay it down.
Aces.
Aces for Lamb, showdown. Velador shows his cards, and that is not going to be enough. Luis Velador eliminated in third place. And contrary to last year, when this final table lasted for over 12 hours, we now have Ben Lamb heads up versus James Chen.
Where you from? Where you from? UK. UK? All right, do a hug, yeah. Come on,
Ben Lamb has a
big ol' hug, big ol' hug. Come on. Yeah.
Ben Lamb has a big fan on the rail.
Can I move here?
We're gonna have you guys in the 4 seat, so Ben, you're gonna be in the court.
You guys want to just move it? It's fine, yeah.
And you're gonna be
Looks
in the
like we're
6th
going to
spot.
move some chips around to get situated before heads up play. Let me just tell you guys, this is far from over. Last year, we saw a 7-hour heads up battle between Dan Zach and Dustin
Where you want me?
Dirksen. And the chip swings were crazy and all over
Where
the
am I
place.
sitting? The 4 seat?
So James Chen down but not out by any stretch. 10.3 million to 2.5 million. Those are the standings right now. You guys let us know in the chat if you think that Chen still has a comeback in him.
Chen, can I ask you a couple of questions?
Come on, we got it. Sure.
All right, looks like the players are getting their chips moved, and we can see
Yeah.
them getting ready for heads up play.
In high school?
Yeah.
And where are you from?
Pittsburgh.
Let's take a little heads up break here. We'll be right back for the continuation and potential conclusion of this event as Ben Lamb is on the cusp of winning his second career WSOP gold bracelet.
Celtics?
Red Sox, Celtics.
3 million.
Okay.
Patriots. Yeah.
Any pets?
You want more?
No.
Kids?
Hold on, guys.
No?
We got too many people touching my chips at
No,
once.
single.
I haven't
Just
had any
me.
chips yet.
Single? Okay.
So
Any other information
I
that
know.
you would want listeners to know about you? Is this your first
be
final
careful.
table?
This is my
Stay
first final
tapping.
table.
There's more than
Or
one pot.
official final
There's
table.
3
I
million.
made one
Let's take care of that first.
10-handed
No,
once.
just give me blue
I think
for
it was
that.
considered 9 final table, but so I don't think that counted.
But first final at WSOP?
Well, that was a WSOP event, but
Oh, was
it
it?
was like it was 10-handed,
the
but I
rest
don't
of
think
this
they
was
counted
moved,
it as a
yeah.
final table because I got 10.
Oh, got it.
You know, I actually don't know how they consider
you.
it, but
Okay. And what event was that?
that was a 1500 that we like 6 years ago maybe.
What was it? A 1500?
Oh wait, same game as this.
Awesome. Thanks for the info.
Yeah, no
Good luck,
problem.
man.
Thank you. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, yeah. Let's do it. Come on. I'm okay. Thank you, though, so much. I was just the big blind, so I'm the button.
Yeah, he came to the big blind twice, so he's the button. Well, he wasn't. James, were you the big blind? No, the bone.
I was just the small blind, I think.
Yeah, so it goes just like that.
You busted him on his big blind, right?
You were the small blind?
He was
Well,
the button.
I was.
He was the button.
I raised the button. I raised the button.
Yeah,
Oh, so you
'cause
moved.
I was,
So you moved the.
I was
so you
small
Yeah,
blind.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think he's
should-
the button.
Should be my button then, yeah.
I think you're going over there, aren't you?
No,
Where's he
it's
sit?
4 and
6
6.
seats.
4 and 6.
We're gonna sit like that?
Yeah,
Why?
that's how the TV wants it.
Okay.
You guys can sit wherever you want as long as you use the 4 and the 6 box.
You got it. You just got to put your cards in this, and you can kinda
Okay.
sit wherever you like.
The trigger.
And in 19 minutes, we're gonna get rid of the reds.
Okay. Be pretty good.
She's under 19 or so. She's still doing that.
How much do you have, Jimmy?
2.5 maybe?
8, 9, 1,
2.46.
I'll be back in a few minutes.
Chan, is that your backpack?
Yeah. Oh, that's why I didn't sleep
back
there,
there.
right?
You can leave it there if you want.
So he has some money in his shit.
I don't know if it's your lucky bucket.
I hope not.
We
Could be
him,
though.
right? He's
Still could be. Still could be.
Go, buddy.
Yeah, still could be. Very
I didn't
well.
hear from you. I got caught up in my
Last heads up went 6 hours, right?
We're taking a minute here. I'm gonna go to the bathroom now.
my friend.
Yeah, yeah, of course, of course.
Yeah, I'm a random guy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's all right, it's all right. Give me 1 sec though. Let me, yeah. We're not break? Fucking guy's insane.
Dude, I fucking thought he knew you.
No, 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 no. Just drunk hero. It's not my bracelet yet.
I just need a quarter like 12 times in a row, then we'll be back. I don't want the full scoops, I want the quarters.
Come on, now the night's starting in 5 minutes. Let's get this thing over with quick, right? Yeah, bud. All right, all right, all right. Let me focus, bud.
Oh,
Lamb. What am I? 120?
120.
Right.
Raise. 240.
You just leave it.
Check, check.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our final table coverage, event number 25 here at the 2023 World Series of Poker $10,000 Omaha High-Low Championship event. We are down to heads-up play, Ben Lamb versus James Chen for the title, the gold bracelet, and $492,000 in prize money. My name is Donnie Peters. Remco Rinkema alongside of me. He'll be back in just a moment. Appreciate you guys tuning in, sticking with us. Ben Lamb here, starting off the break right, making quads. Must be nice to be Ben Lamb today. Running hot, tremendous chip lead, 84% of the chips in play here. Those of you tuning in on YouTube, smash that like button. Hit the subscribe button as well. Show us some love that way. Appreciate you guys, as always, tuning in for our World Series of Poker coverage.
Right.
Jack 10-10 deuce, the two clubs here for Lamb. He makes the call. Chen's going to raise it up with the ace jack 9-3 double suited. Suited to the ace in diamonds, suited to the 9 in clubs. Lamb makes the call. 8-6-3, 2 diamonds. Players are playing 120K, 240K limits. Chen fires a bet. Lamb gives it up. And Chen takes that one down.
Thanks, man.
Let's do another roll call here, shall we? Let us know where you guys are watching from. Actually, we should take it back to what we always do on YouTube. Location, where you're watching from. We want the weather of what it is, where you are, and the beverage you are drinking.
Check.
John Flanagan, San Fran, foggy, Berman, Toonskull, Florida, clear Bud Light. Ben Lamb there in the white hat, looking for his second World Series of Poker gold bracelet. Kind of crazy, as Remco and I talked about earlier, that he doesn't have more than one gold bracelet, but ever so close to one right now. $15.6 million in career live tournament earnings. The bracelet that he won back in 2011 $10,000 PLO. Welcome back.
I was reading Super System.
Honestly, I thought you were watching the hockey game.
I was. I may or may not just have
The Knights scored.
Done a cartwheel through the event center here at the Horseshoe. I'm out of breath. Ben Lamb took off the hat. I wonder why.
I mean, maybe it was bad luck.
It's such a good, like a hat is such a good place to hide under when you're playing poker.
For sure, especially under these bright lights of these feature tables.
I love that Chen went for the fisherman hat.
Right.
The Rick Solomon look, if you will. A6-4-4. Very nice heads-up hand here with the suited ace for Chen. King 10-6, 2 clubs on this flop. We only see one card of Lamb, and it's the king. So his hand can only improve. Chen's going to bet his nut flush draw here. Lamb making sure we get a look at the rest of his hand. He flopped top 2 pair. Comes in for a raise. Donnie, this could be a really big one, given that Chen has the nut flush draw. Strong backdoor low versus the top 2 pair of Lamb. Lamb could also back into a low, but not nearly as good a hand as his opponent. And there it is, an ace on the turn. Gives Chen a pair of aces to go along. Oh, sorry, aces and sixes. 2 pair now for Chen in the lead. And Chad's going wild. 2-0 Vegas in the Stanley Cup Final Game 5. Apologies if we get some additional hockey conversation in today's stream.
Right before that, while you were gone, I asked location, weather.
Yes.
Beverage.
Anything good?
You know, we had some bourbon in there, some Bud Light. You know, the beers and the liquor were flowing.
Oh, so on a night like tonight with some poker action and some hockey, perfect night to have a cold one. Action goes check, check. 7 on the river. Chen's going to get a check mark for this one. Lamb stuck with 2 pair, but Chen has the better of him.
Bet 240.
Lamb does not have a low. You need 2 cards in your hand and 3 on the board. There's only 3 low cards, and Lamb has one of those paired with his 7. Chen has aces up. Chen in the tank here. Wow, lays it down, and Ben Lamb gets away with one here, Donnie.
It's good to be Ben Lamb.
Did not expect to see Chen fold there.
Raise.
Donnie, do you think that Lamb will feel any pressure knowing how close he is right now? And, you know, we talked about this before, but you don't get all too many of these chances in your career.
You definitely do not. You want to make every single one count. I think he might feel a little pressure, you know, wanting to get it done, of course.
Bet.
That's 120.
Lamb once again picks up a pot without showdown. And this is going to chip away at Chen's stack in a way that he really cannot afford. Ace Jack 9-4 with a suit for Chen.
Right.
Comes in for a raise. $10-10, 8-5 for Lamb. He's got some low options there with the 8-5, but not looking all too hot. Still, dirt heads up play, that pair of tens going to be good quite some time. There it is, a set for Lamb. All of a sudden, he takes the lead in this hand. Chen, though, picked up an open and a straight draw.
Bet 120.
I think you're doing too much. You're giving quarter too much.
Chen's going to come along here. No backdoor flush draws for either player. 5 on the turn is going to give Chen a low draw.
Bet 240.
Deuce, 3, 6, or 8 will give Chen a low on the river. Lamb with top set still the best hand. An 8 or a king will give Chen a straight. And there is an ace on the river that does not give him a straight. Lamb's got a lock on this hand, and Chen now on his way to drop down below $1 million. No flush possibilities out there. There is a low possibility, but Chen paired a card, and therefore he does not have a low. Let's see if Lamb's going to stick with the aggression.
All right, players, the next 28 are on dinner. Then a little over 10 minutes left in your dinner break. You start making your way back to your table. If you're on table 615, we're going to be breaking you right away. Again, if you're table 615, we're breaking you right away.
Bet.
Bet 240.
Lamb does continue with the aggression. Once again, or actually every single time, Lamb putting Chen in a spot where he has to make a big decision.
Very big decision here. Call or fold. Lamb, or sorry, Chen is going to be left with less than 1 million in chips. Looks like he is going to give it up. There it is.
Chen makes a good fold this time around. And Ben Lamb now once again extending his lead up to 12.4, sorry, excuse me, 11.8 million. Chen sitting on 900K. Incredible dominance so far by Ben Lamb. Bracelet, of course, on the table now. And this is a time for me to remind you of the best promotion that we've ever had at PokerGo. If you upgrade or subscribe as an annual sub right now and use the promo code DREAM30, you'll be entered into a raffle giveaway that gives you a chance to play in our $1 million free roll at the PokerGo studio in Las Vegas. We gave away one of those seats already, Donnie, and you got the latest on that.
Albert Hart was the winner of the first Dream Seat through the PokerGo annual subscriber Dream Seat giveaway. He's a retired computer programmer, lives in Colorado. He's been married for 55 years.
Wow.
He will be coming out to Las Vegas to the PokerGo studio in December, playing alongside possibly Daniel Negreanu, Sean Winter, Alex Foxen, Jason Kuhn, all these guys that often make it into the PGT Championship. Albert Hart will be competing with them. Chance to win life-changing money, $500,000 first place prize.
And all he had to do was be an annual subscriber to PokerGo. So tremendous value there. Dream30 is the promo code. That saves you $30 on your annual subscription. Get it while we have it. That code's only valid during the WSOP. When's our next draw?
July 17th, main event final table day.
Beautiful.
So you have until then. Of course, the main event will be on PokerGo, so you can become an annual subscriber to watch that event and then also get thrown into the raffle.
Chen picked up aces and picked up the pot. Ben Lamb looking as focused as ever on the cusp of winning his second career bracelet, his first being the 10K PLO. His second could be the 10K 08.
Raise.
Some people in the chat speculating on Chan's passive play. People wondering, how did he even get to this point in the tournament? You got to realize you're playing heads up for a bracelet and a whole bunch of money against one of the best out there. So it's not going to be that straightforward. And of course, with the short stack that he has, Chen cannot afford many mistakes. Perhaps playing a bit more on the cautious side. Put yourself in his shoes.
Felt good. Raise.
None of these cards are good cards.
Chen once again laying it down, staying below that million chip mark. He's really going to have to go on a run here, win a few consecutive pots just to give himself a chance again. Like I referenced earlier, last year, Dan Zach versus Dustin Dirksen, 7-hour heads-up match. Dan Zach had Dustin Dirksen down to fewer than 5 big bets, I want to say on like 12 different occasions. And every single time, Dirksen managed to make a comeback before Zach ultimately finished him off. Lamb, of course, massive advantage right now, but don't count Chen out yet. A few scoops, and we're looking at a completely different type of game.
Looks like they're getting rid of my favorite chips. The Rusties.
The Rusties
You
out.
guys should have one on.
All right, we are going on a little break while the players do a color up. The blinds will be up after the break. So see you guys back in 10 minutes for the continuation of the heads-up battle in the 10K Omaha 8 or Better Championship event.
There's $1 million.
1 million? So just keep these on. Ben, let me get a green chip. Yeah. He's buying it. It'll round. What color are you?
Now $1 million.
Bob, what color? I would have rounded up. Just the blues?
Hey, Donna. What's up, brother? How you doing? Thanks. We're doing good, bud. We're good. Yeah.
Let's fucking do this.
All right, bud. Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's do it. No, just don't get robbed by the drunk Russian. Drunk hero.
All right, players, welcome back to the dinner in bench 28. Has 36 players left. Lines 20, 40, 40. Shuffle up and deal.
Huh?
Please.
I'm
It's gonna
trying
be
real
you
hard.
and me up on that stage.
Yeah, of course.
What's
Got you.
what's his size look like?
Oh, come on.
He's got a
Oh,
nub
I
and
know I see, but I don't know.
I got
and I'm sorry.
Mandingo.
Right, right.
He
How
has,
many like bets
Like,
does he
okay,
have?
he has
heaps
two.
and heaps.
He has 2.5 big bets.
Yeah.
Why
right.
are you guys even on break?
Because he's.
I don't know. We had to color up, so like we had to go on break anyways.
Otherwise, he's like, you just play
Well-
through, right?
Yeah.
Will you finish this? People want to go home.
Hey guys, I want to win this more than you want me to win it. I promise.
Probably.
What
Promise.
number would this be for you?
2.
2?
I haven't had one since 2011.
Oh damn. Well, get it done.
12-year drought.
No, I'm gonna wait for Jessica. I gotta lay out tomorrow.
Did Nick bust? Looks like it.
I haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah, Nick busted. Roughly. He's got 2.5 bets.
I think you might put him all in soon. You think he's gonna fold? ICM pressure?
He didn't care about ICM pressure 3-handed. I raised. Luis had like this much, and he had like. Luis had this much. He had this much, and I raised the button, and he calls the queen, queen, 6-9, 3 spades from the small blind. Luis had like 2 or 3 bets.
That's actually not terrible if you got Miami.
Of course, it's terrible.
Luis's equity. If Luis is gonna overcall, it actually is a cool.
No.
I'm just saying, he might
No.
thinking that, but there are some like
Yeah.
spots like that.
I played one spot like that, kind of. The hand you walked up on that I doubled up Luis was a very interesting hand. Very interesting hand, actually. Well, I don't know if I want to kick him out or not.
Yeah.
It's close.
I don't think you want to.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the final table of the 10K Omaha 8er Better Ben Lamb on the cusp of winning his second WSOP gold bracelet. James Chen hoping to make a comeback here, but he is looking at a very, very difficult mountain to climb, and that mountain is that enormous chip stack you see in front of Mr. Ben Lamb. King, Queen, Jack 6, King, Jack 8-5. Some sort of a fair fight here on the first hand back from break. Donnie, do you still have any belief that Chen can make a comeback?
I mean, we've seen some crazy comebacks already. I know we didn't stream it the other day, but David Baker, ODB, got his third gold bracelet against Justin Liberto. He was down to 1 or 2 big bets in Raz. So these limit games can be crazy. We saw Josh Aryeh come back in the 10K Limit Hold'em Championship.
Multiple times.
Multiple times, you know, like.
Aryeh was the most almost out the door.
Fumes.
Yeah, Aryeh in the 10K Limit Hold'em was the most out of the door player at that final table from the final 4 onwards. And then, you know, he had that one double up before the end of play and then went on a massive heater to close things out. James Chen now looking for some of that Josh Aryeh energy to make a comeback of his own.
Jack 7-5 deuce with 2 hearts for Lamb. He limps in. James Chen checking his option. He's got the Queen 7-6 deuce. Top pair for Lamb on the Jack 10-9 flop. Chen checks. Lamb is going to bet it. Chen gives it up. Lamb increases that lead, widening the gap. 1-2 bets at a time, but with Chen being so short, he's only got just over 3 big bets left. He's going to need to make a move very soon.
The unholy cannoli in chat says, the thumbnail has Seidel versus Lamb. What is this? Well, Seidel was at this final table when action started. We're not going to go through the trouble of changing the thumbnail every time a player gets eliminated. That's just ridiculous. People also watching this from the start at a later point in time. Lamb and Chen not too talkative, both players focused on the task at hand here. Donnie, you mentioned earlier, Lamb has a wager on Player of the Year. Him and Sean Deep head-to-head?
That's what I heard. I heard they were going at it. You know, probably coming in, you favor Deep, given the volume. Lamb doesn't play a massive volume every year. I'm assuming if that happens, that he gets some odds there. But looks like Lamb might be the guy to get the first bracelet between those two. That said, 10 people left in the $1,500 8 game, and Sean Deeb is the chip leader. So I was talking to Sean Deeb earlier. He was on the rail for when Josh Aryeh won, of course. We watched that happen. Aryeh got his 5th gold bracelet to tie Deeb. Deeb told him that if Aryeh wins his 6th before Sean wins his 6th, Sean's going to quit poker. So friendly rivalry between the two. Sean Deeb is out there gunning for number 6 because he does not want Josh Aryeh to get number 6 before he does.
That's hilarious. Chen raising it up here with Ace Jack 10-7. Lamb with 3 8s decides to finally let one go.
Folds the trips. Johanna Alexander just joined the Rail. Welcome. The Rail is our YouTube community. Access to some special emojis, loyalty badges. We're going to be adding some perks as we go. Thanks for joining. Ben Lamb raising it up here, Ace 8-7-5. Chen folds the King 9-8-3. $150K, $300K are the limits. David Nagy, welcome to the Rail. Thank you for being a part of everything we're doing here. We talked about it earlier. James Chen from Boston, lives in Pittsburgh, big New England sports fan, considers himself a bit of a 4-card specialist, plays a lot of PLO, cash games and tournaments. Had a previous 10th place finish in an event at the WSOP. This is his best result here, though, and his first official final table. Chen opens it up on the button, 10-10, 8-deuce, Lamb defends, ace-9, 7-5. 9-6-3, 2 clubs on the flop. Lamb top pair and a low draw, also some straight draw possibilities. Chen still has that over pair of 10s working. He also has a gut shot straight draw of his own.
Raise.
Oh, check raise here, huh? Here we go.
Lamb not looking to take the low variance route. He's continuing to put the pressure on Chen, who doesn't have a lot of options given his short stack. He needs to be very sure of himself if he wants to continue in spots like these.
Just getting the sense watching this final table so far, it does seem like James Chen really does want to take a more conservative approach, but being this short, I mean, you kind of just got to find a hand and go with it. You know, you got to try and make something happen. If not, Ben Lamb is just going to keep leaning on you and keep leaning on you. So
Chen does come along with his overpair. Third club hits on the turn. Neither player with a club draw. This could potentially, I mean, this could go either way as far as Ben Lamb goes. He could try to represent the club or slow down because he thinks that Chen might have a club. Given how aggressive Lamb has been so far, we might just see him take a stab here.
yeah, he's got a good hand, turns 2 pair, has that low. Not that it's the greatest low in the world, but heads up, an A7 low here has certainly got to give him some confidence. Chen looked hesitant on the flop. He remains hesitant here, which is something that Lamb is likely picking up on and is just going to continue to drive this action.
Yeah, body language is definitely a real thing
Wow.
here. And Chen lays it down. Wow, Ben Lamb doing exactly what he needs to do, grind down his opponent without showdown, so that if Chen does find a double up, it's not going to be for a whole lot.
Less than 2
Nice
big
score.
bets now for James Chen.
A good 2 minutes. What do you have? How much? 550 or something?
We're playing 150K, 300K limits. Blinds are 75K, 150K. I mean, one hand could easily seal it here.
Yeah,
Any
Lamb's
hand.
not slowing down either. He's just going to raise right now. We can only see one of his cards. It's a queen.
Much love, by the way, to everyone in the chat.
On the draw, Jimmy, it looks like.
Let's see. Let's see if we can hit 1,000 likes on today's video. We're only at 800. We got almost 5,000 people watching. Come on, people. If you enjoy our live streams, please smash that like button. Do us a favor.
Aces for Lamb. Ace, ace, queen, jack. Remains in the lead on the Jack 9-7. All club flop.
The burgers.
The burgers.
250 or 300? What do you have?
He's got 275, it looks like. Chen does check.
As I mentioned before, if you want to pick up on some more skills as far as the non-Texas Hold'em games go, please read Super System. And there it is. Chen all in for his tournament life. Ben Lamb with aces and a jack in the lead here.
When you get check raise for sure.
Backdoor low draw for Chen. Sean Deeb coming over to check on how Ben Lamb is doing. Ben Lamb cannot make a low here. James Chen could, depending on the run out.
Queen's no good. Queen I'll take.
Chen would love a small card here that's not a deuce or a 3. A 9, of course, also something that Chen is rooting for. That is perfect for Chen. Now picks up a low draw.
Still a 2-to-1 dog.
River card. It's a 6, and the low comes in for Chen, and this hand is going to be chopped.
I know, right? I was thinking about that. Ace, Queen, Jack in the photo. Now it's going to be some crappy hand.
Little premature celebration there. He said he was thinking about the winner's photo. Said it, you know, it would be great to be the ace, queen, jack, because Ben Lamb is, of course, known widely as a PLO player. But then he said, now it's going to be a crappy hand. So is he thinking, now I'm going to win with a crappy hand? Chen gives it up there. The king 10 9-4, and Lamb's just going to get a walk. Chen with less than 2 big bets again, 500K. The big bet's 300K, so he's going to be in the big blind here for 150.
Jack, the suited Jack with the deuce 3-4, enough for Lamb to keep raising. Chen here with a hand that could see him commit.
Yeah, I imagine Chen's going to get this money in here. Lamb's not going anywhere.
How much you have left? 50? That's fine. 500.
All right, we have it all in again. Got to favor Chen's hand here with the ace-4. Chen looking for his first of many necessary double-ups.
Got a jack, some other stuff.
A jack and some other stuff.
Definitely not a bad hand for Lamb, given that his opponent is so short. There's a jack in the window right away.
Yeah, I'd say that's a good flop.
Yeah, he's got the deuce 3 working for the low. Chen does have the ace-4 for a low draw.
That you want?
Turn card, the 3 of hearts.
Very good card here for Chen. Gives him the ace-4 low. He picks up the nut flush draw.
It's the king of clubs on the river.
I scooped, don't I?
No, chop pot.
That's right.
Lamb thinks he won. I think that stand-up was the stand-up to possibly shake your opponent's hand there. That's what I got out of that.
Oh, boy.
Eager.
Is that
notice James Chen didn't move. He knew he had the low. Knew he had that locked up. Ben needs to just, you know, chill. Take it a little chill here. You know.
Is that the jinx? Is the jinx in?
He's talking about his winning hand in the photo. Now he's getting up, thinking that he won, possibly shaking the hand. Like,
oh boy,
you haven't won number 2 yet, Mr. Lamb. You haven't won number 2 yet.
That was really funny. Chen's going to try again to double up.
What do you guys think in the chat? Do you think Ben Lamb just jinxed himself or what?
Oh, we got lots of the same suit going at it here. Hearts and clubs, the only cards that matter to these two players. 3-3 deuce.
The chat's losing it.
That was really funny. Open-ended straight, or a wrap there for Ben Lamb with 4-5-6 on the 3 deuce 3. Deuce 5 for Chen. Another chance here for Ben Lamb to end it. How many chances does he need? That's the question.
James Chen over there, he's got 9 lives.
And a 9 right now would be helpful for him on the turn with the Jack 9 5 deuce. Turn is the 8 of hearts. Lamb has the better hearts with the king 6. Chen drawing.
He's also got the best low.
Chen is drawing slim, but the deuce gives him the lead. He makes jacks and deuces, and we're going to chop it up again. excuse me, Jackson threes, of course.
Who called for a
Chen
jack?
is not done yet.
Jack of hearts would have got it.
I mean, the chat's pretty unanimous that Lamb might have done himself in there with. Chen still just 500K. Lamb here, Jack 10, 7-7. Lamb is going to limp in. 8-8-4-3 here for Chen. He's going to raise it, try and get his money in. Lamb just calls, so Chen does have some chips behind.
A6-3 on the flop. That's not the flop that Lamb was looking for.
No.
And this is the first hand that Chen has won outright
Yep.
in quite some time. Brian Willis says, next 3 hours, we will chop every hand.
Get in the game with PokerGO Play, the new social poker game brought to you by PokerGO in conjunction with Gala Games. Head on over to PokerGoPlay.com. You can check out what is on offer there.
I just want to say that the longer this heads-up battle takes, the more chances we get at breaking 1,000 likes on this video. We're up to 900 now. We're up to 900. The first time they were all in, we were on 800, so we picked up 100 likes in the process. Anything is still possible. Probably the odds of us hitting 1,000 likes a little greater right now than James Chen making a full comeback.
James Chen, the most chill-looking guy with 3 big bets in the history of poker. He's just chilling.
There it is, 1,000 likes. There it is. Thank you guys so much. Also, shout out to Shiram with the €1 donation. Thank you for tuning in and contributing to the coffee fund, as we like to call it. Bang, bang. 1,100 likes. You guys are on fire right now. Beautiful looking ace jack 6 deuce double suited for Chen. Lamb with king 10 8 5 is going to need some help here.
This was 3-bet before the flop. Here goes the money. It's going in.
All right, all the money is going in. A pair of 10s for Lamb, currently in the lead.
Yeah, good flop for Lamb.
Of course, Lamb blocks one of the outs that would give his opponent a straight. Look at all the media on the rail. When a superstar is on the brink of winning a bracelet, all the media is there to cover it.
This is one of those hands where there will be no low.
5 on the turn gives Lamb 92% to win this hand as he makes 2 pair 10s and 5s. Chen drawing extremely thin right now to make a comeback. The river is a deuce, and that will do it. Ben Lamb wins his second career WSOP Gold bracelet in the 10K Omaha 8 or Better Championship. James Chen is our runner-up, and this has to go down in history as one of the most dominant showings in all of poker. Ben Lamb, ever since last night, seemingly could not lose a hand. And when this final table, lasted over 12 hours last year, 7 hours of heads-up play, and right now, Ben Lamb getting it done in just about 6 hours. James Chen takes home $304,000. Ben Lamb collects $492,000. Absolutely incredible stuff there from the Omaha specialist.
Is this
Lamb's first bracelet coming in the 10K PLO. Ben Lamb is going to take that bracelet. He's going to pose for the winner photos. Gives us time here to thank everyone for watching
12
I'm pretty sure there won't be
Thank
much
you.
celebrating for Lamb as he has a wager with Sean Deeb on most POI points. They will likely he will likely jump into the very next event that he gets a chance to play. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Shout out to everyone watching. Thank you all so much. Tomorrow we are back with coverage of the 100K No Limit Hold'em final table.
Cool.
2.5 million up for grabs in that event. So please don't miss that. Join us for that. If you want to watch more poker right now, check out our YouTube channel. The BetMGM Poker Championship final table is still going on. My name is Remco Rinkema. Donnie Peters alongside me. Once again, thank you all for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.